Assalamualaikum, I'm Nadia Zubair, and I'm working with Burhan on this project. We have made simulated an EMG module using Proteus. This was part of our final year project. We were supposed to implement it in hardware, but we couldn't do it because of the COVID-19 situation. So let's start. Imagine you being thirsty and you have a glass of water right beside you, but you're unable to pick it up because your hand won't execute the command your brain is sending. How would it make you feel? How would it make you feel that you can't do such a mundane task? Will it affect your self-esteem, being dependent on someone for just that? Gave you goosebumps just imagining it. I've seen it. My nanny couldn't do all these simple tasks. Watching such an active person going from being so independent to this wasn't easy for anyone. These small daily life tasks that we take for granted are pretty challenging for some people. People who are suffering from diseases like my grandmother did, a stroke, which has after effects on your body that may lead to partial paralysis. Hence, we came up with a plan to help these people by providing them a means to get control of their lives with minimal support from others. A device that not just aids your muscles to perform basic tasks, but also to build neural pathways in your brain to improve wrist movements for good. It focuses on finger movements, which means they can flex, extend their fingers to eat, drink, write, paint, draw, cook, and create something, but mainly create their life again. So to sum it up, I would say that we've made an orthotic device for patients suffering from Parkinson's, cerebral palsy, or post-stroke patients to help them in their daily life tasks. This EMG module played a huge part in it because it provided us with signals to control our motors. So the base of our EMG module was a module provided by Advanced Technology. Can you go on the next? So this is the module that we used in our final year project, and we further try to improve this module in this project. Let's move on. So before I get into the overview of the module, I would like to explain you what an EMG signal is. Basically, EMG signal or electromyogram is a difference in potential between two muscles relative to some distance or ground. So basically, it is dominant in the frequency range of 10 Hz to 150 Hz with an amplitude of 0.1 millivolt to 10 millivolts. It is good to have a CMRR ratio of greater than 93 decibels, according to our research, to acquire an EMG signal. Let's go over the module now. So I'll give you a brief overview of the module, and then Burhan will further explain it. So our module consists of three main parts. One is the instrumentation amplification stage, which is AD620. We chose this over INA 106, which was used in advanced technology module, since it has more advantages according to research. It has a common mode rejection ratio of 120 to 130 decibels, while INA 106 has a common mode rejection ratio of 83 decibels. It also has a greater input impedance, which is 10 gigaohms, and along with this, its other properties made it a better instrumentation amplifier for us to use. Furthermore, it was followed by a high-pass filter with a cutoff frequency of 20 Hz. This was used to get rid of the DC offset and low frequency noises. This was an active high-pass filter with an inverting amplifier stage, and this was chosen because we want the output to be out of phase with the input, as it helps to prevent oscillation and instability. Furthermore, it was followed by an envelope detector, which basically consists of a rectifier, full wave rectifier, and a low-pass filter, where the rectifier acts as basically rectifies your signal, and low-pass filter smooths your signal. So basically, we're getting a DC leveled output out of an AC input. Now I will hand it over to Burhan.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. So this is the circuit of the simulation we performed. Over here, you can see this is the instrumentation amplifier over here, followed by a high-pass filter, and this is a full-wave rectifier, and this is a low-pass filter, and finally, in the end, it is being amplified to obtain the output. Nadia has explained all the individual parts. I will just show you the circuit where the individual parts are present. Okay, so we run the circuit with two different sine waves. This was the output of the first sine wave. The sine wave had a mid-muscle value of the output voltage of the mid-muscle voltage of 10 millivolts, while the frequency of 300 hertz, while the end muscle had the voltage of 1 millivolt and a frequency of 1 hertz. Yellow over here is the mid-muscle input, while green is the output. You can see that there is a phase shift between the input and the output. This phase shift is basically due to the presence of the high-pass filter. You can also see the smoothness of the output waveform. This smoothness is present because of the low-pass filter that is present in the circuit. This is basically smoothing the peak of the sine wave to obtain a DC value. Then we run the simulation of a sine wave with a little less frequency. The mid muscle voltage was 10 millivolts again, while the frequency was now 2 hertz instead of 300 hertz, while the N muscle had the same value of 1 millivolt and 1 hertz. So you can see over here that the output, you can see over here the output is very similar to the last one, as it has a phase shift as well as the smoothness. And over here you can even see that the negative peak over here that is again present due to the low pass filter. So after successfully running the data on the sine wave, we searched online to run a module on the raw EMG data. So there was one website where we were able to find the raw EMG data. The link of the website is mentioned in the report. So one problem with the data was that the data was already pre-amplified, so it was not raw EMG signal. So what we had to do in order to run that data on our simulation, we had to remove the instrumentation amplifier part of our circuit. After removing the instrumentation part, we run the raw EMG data on the signal. This is the output obtained. The input, as you can see, is the green waveform. It was a waveform of a person relaxing and flexing his hand for 3 seconds respectively. And you can see the output waveforms follows the input. As the relaxation part, it shows a constant 0 peak, while at the flexing part, it shows peaks for 3 seconds. So the conclusion. So the base module, as Nadia mentioned, was taken from the advanced technology. We have been using that module for over a year now, and what we wanted to do was to make that module better and accurate. So we researched about different EMG modules that are present, and we try to implement a module that takes the best of every module that was present. So this was a module that we could come up with. This module, however, on the simulation is running as what we expected it to be, but we cannot compare it with the module we already have, because obviously we don't have the hardware of the module. Once if we can make the hardware and we obtain the data from that module, then we can compare this with the advanced technology module, and we can make an assumption that which one of the obtained module is more accurate. And this picture is the hardware prototype of our FIP, and that's it. Thank you.